Hello everybody and welcome to today's session in the Get Unstuck series. I hope you're having a good week. It's a bit cooler, so I don't know about you, but I'm finding it much easier to function and sleep at night. So very warm welcome to you if this is the first time you've joined one of my lives. I am Sarah Archer. I'm a career and leadership coach, and I work predominantly with female leaders around career advancement, leadership success, career confidence, and also around change. And I created these small 15-minute windows in your week to talk about some of the things that are important in your leadership career. So it could be around your career development or career advancement, and your leadership development, and some of the challenges that you face as a leader. Because I know when I worked as an HR director, the day job is so full on that you just don't get that space to really think about you, what you need, what's going on for you, where you're going. So I do these sessions every 2 weeks just to give you that little opportunity to tune into something that might be pertinent for you at this moment. And I also have a podcast, Unstuck and Unstoppable, which covers the same types of issues. So if you are wanting to listen differently, you can always catch up on the podcast, and I'll put a link into the comments a bit later on. So if you're here live today, and I know a lot of people signed up for this topic that we're talking about today, so if you are here, do let me know. You don't have to, of course, you can just sit and listen quietly, but if you are here and you're comfortable saying hello, please do. Or if you've got questions about this particular topic, please do pop them in the comments, and I'll answer them as we're going along. We'll come back to them at the end. If you're watching on replay, hello, and you've got a comment or a question, then just tag me and I'll know, and I'll come back and answer the question for you. And you know, there's a whole 2 years worth of lives on my LinkedIn profile. So if there's something you feel you want to check out, then they're all stored in the events section of my LinkedIn profile. So just thinking about today's topic, which is what to do if you're experiencing success fatigue. Now, we don't really talk about success fatigue very much. I do see it with some of my clients, and that's why I chose it as today's topic, because I thought it could be helpful if you are just maybe questioning what next for you, or maybe your job just is not giving you that same sense of excitement or fulfillment anymore. So again, if you're feeling comfortable and this is resonating with you, then do pop it in the comments. Let me know if this is something that you perhaps feel you're experiencing at the moment. Obviously, you might not want to do that, and I completely understand why. But if you are comfortable, then just let me know. Because it is that feeling when you've achieved a lot in your career, but you get that sort of sense of, is this it? Did I put all that work in for this and it's just left me feeling a bit flat? And I know I've experienced it. So at the end of my HR director career, I was just thinking, gosh, is this it? Do I want to do this in another organisation? I'm not sure I do, really. It just wasn't giving me that same buzz and excitement that I had previously in my career. And I knew I needed to do something about that. So it's great if you are joining today, because what we're going to do is we're going to talk about what it is, what causes it, and then some actions you can take to think about how you can move forward if you are experiencing success fatigue. So what is it? Well, what it's not burnout from overwork, but obviously it can overlap a little bit. So it's definitely thinking about, am I experiencing success fatigue, or am I actually in burnout? It's not boredom through feeling like you're coasting or plateauing. Okay, that is a different topic, that kind of whole plateauing piece where you're just feeling like you've got no stretch, you just can do the job standing on your head. And I have done a live and a podcast episode on, are you peaking or are you plateauing in your career? So again, I'll put a link in so that you can access those episodes if you feel actually maybe it's not success fatigue, maybe I'm just plateauing. because it is doing this reflection to understand what's going on for you, because obviously the symptoms can be similar. What it is the kind of emotional and mental fatigue that you're experiencing from having chased external success. So promotions, pay rises, recognition. So you've kind of got to that pinnacle in your career, but you just feel unfulfilled by it. And we're going to explore why that is. So it's that kind of sense of emotional and mental fatigue from having pushed yourself to get to where you really wanted to get to. But then when you've got there, you're just a bit, oh, really? Is this it? I'm just not feeling excited about it. I just feel a bit flat. I don't feel fulfilled. I don't really feel it's meaningful work that I am doing. So the signs of it is that questioning yourself. Is that it? That kind of feeling. It's also maybe feeling a bit disengaged or a bit cynical, even when things are going well. It can feel like you're going through the motions, that you just can't access that kind of passion or that sense of purpose in what you're doing. And it's knowing that you want some kind of change, you want to make something happen, but not knowing what that change might be. And it is that sort of sense of, I don't feel nourished, I don't feel what I'm doing is meaningful, I don't feel fulfilled. And just kind of, do I want to be doing this for the next 20 years kind of feeling. So let's think about what the common causes might be, if that's kind of resonated with you, if you think maybe, yeah, that's me, that's what I'm feeling at the moment, or I'm close to feeling that. And let's think about what the causes might be. And you could reflect on your own career journey and think about, has this happened to me? So it can be, one of the causes is that success by default. So we're following somebody else's pattern of success or journey of success. And certainly society is very guilty of pushing us towards success being all extrinsic. So success being measured by the salary you're on, the benefits you have, the status you have, the seniority, the job title, without you really checking in on what matters to you. So that whole career ladder, you just got to keep climbing, and then you'll be happy. And, that definitely works for some people. For some people, those things are real motivators. But if they're not your motivators, then that will leave you with that sense of, this is not really fulfilling or meaningful for me. So that's one of the causes, is kind of doing that sort of success by default. The other is that kind of emotional depletion by pushing yourself for more without really allowing for kind of rest or reflection or recalibration. So just that sense of on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing, without really taking stock of what you've enjoyed, what nourishes you, what's fulfilling for you. You just kind of on to the next, which is kind of linked a little bit to both the goal treadmill and the hedonic treadmill. So the goal treadmill is where you are just ticking off achievements. So achieve something, tick the box, set a bigger, more stretching goal. Achieve that, tick the box, set a bigger, more stretching goal, with no kind of pause to process. You're just ticking those boxes, so that kind of goal treadmill. The hedonic treadmill is a bit linked to the success by default. So the hedonic treadmill is where you get a spike of pleasure through getting some recognition, through getting a promotion, through getting a pay rise, through getting a new job, more senior job. But the problem with the hedonic treadmill is those spikes of pleasure that you get, they don't last very long. So we all know that sense of, you get the big pay rise, you feel great for about 3 months, and then your happiness levels, because we all have happiness levels, returns to your kind of baseline. And so what the tendency can be is we want to seek another spike of pleasure. So we'll be pushing ourselves for, okay, I've got to work harder to get that next bit of recognition, that next pay rise, or pushing to get that promotion or onto that new role in a different organisation. So again, that can be one of the causes. Or the fourth kind of cause, the fifth, is kind of misaligned values. So that's where your career has outgrown the version of you who started it. So if you chose your career path when you were in your early 20s, your values were still really being shaped. Your work values were still really being shaped then. And maybe now you're in your late 30s, mid 40s, 50s, your values are going to be different because things change, we mature, and our values can change as well. And it could be that your career that you chose then is misaligned. So I know I had this in my kind of mid-30s. So I was kind of desperately pursuing my career in the corporate sector. In my kind of mid-30s, actually might have been late 20s, my values shifted, and I decided actually I wanted to work more in the voluntary sector because that felt more meaningful to me. And so I made a shift into that sector because my values had shifted completely from who I was when I first started my career, age 18. So what we need to do once we've recognised maybe some of those roots, those causes have led to where you are now, is to kind of normalise it and not see it as a failure in any way, a failure of your ambition, because we can be very good at beating ourselves up and going, well, it's because I made the wrong career decisions, or I took the wrong path, or allowed myself to be swayed by those extrinsic measures of success. But seeing it as a sign that you are more mature, that your career has grown, and you just need to recalibrate now. So it's just kind of repositioning it. So I'm just going to talk you through 3 things to think about to be able to help you move through this sort of feeling of success fatigue. And obviously, if you've got any questions on what I've just talked through, please do pop them in the chat. The first one is just to pause and acknowledge what's going on, because it's always helpful just to kind of pause and think, okay, maybe I'm going to need to take some action here to help myself navigate this new experience for myself, because success fatigue, if you've pushed yourself in your career up till now, it will be a new experience for you. So the first thing is just to acknowledge that this is real, that this is something that exists. You're not alone, other people experience it. And then don't do that whole kind of gaslighting yourself thing. So don't say, well, you should be grateful. Lots of people would kill for your job. You should be grateful for where you are now, and just kind of suck it up and get on with it. Don't do that to yourself. You need to explore what's going on and understand it so you can make good career choices for yourself. The second thing is to reconnect with meaning and just understand what really energizes you. Now, meaning is a challenging concept because it's quite subjective. And often I have clients come to me and say, I just want to do something more meaningful. And so we have to really unpack what meaning means for them, because it is going to be different for everybody. So I've done a lot of reflection over the sort of 18 years I've been a career coach around what meaning can be about. And I feel there are different facets to it. So it can be about learning and growth. So that sense of being able to learn and grow. It can be connection to the end result. So being able to see the effort that you're putting in is resulting in something that you feel is meaningful, that it's either maybe helping somebody in some way or it's contributing to something, but you can see that it's making a real impact. It can also be around connection to a value around perhaps making a difference in some way, so having impact. It can also be around autonomy and feeling like you've got control over where you are and what you're doing. It can also be around kind of legacy and contribution. So it's just checking out what is meaningful for you, and just taking some time to really explore that, because like I said, it's different for different people. And while you're doing that, you can be thinking about a concept of job crafting, which I was reminded about by a great post by someone that I know, Rihanna Rowley, yesterday. And you can break your job crafting down into 3 areas. So you can think about, and this can be helpful if you're thinking, I don't really want to leave where I am now for whatever reason, but I need to make it better for me. Because this isn't always about a massive career change. It can be just recrafting, redefining your job. So you can do some task crafting. So thinking about the elements of your job, what could you do to bring more meaning into the role that you have? So could that be about delegating some areas that really don't nourish you, that don't energize you, and taking on some projects that are going to give you more meaning and enjoyment? It could be about relationship crafting. So noticing what are the relationships that give me energy, that I really enjoy. So that could be client relationships, it could be stakeholder relationships, it could be your peers, it could be your team. And thinking about how can I actually have more relationship building, maintaining engagement in what I do, and recalibrating your job to allow that. Or it could be about mindset crafting. So is there some cognitive work I need to do around how positive or negative I feel about things, about some beliefs that I might have that aren't helpful? I apologise, my dog is barking in the background. Or around, so your mindset, beliefs, or your confidence evening. So just doing some kind of cognitive crafting. And then the third area is to give yourself permission to redefine your success criteria. So if you think your success criteria early in your career might have been around ambition, status, salary, all those extrinsic elements, but actually now your career success criteria have changed. And this is good to do at different points in your career anyway. When I became a business owner, I had to completely redefine my career success criteria. If I was going to be successful in business and be able to navigate the business world successfully, which I have done for the last 14 years, so I think it's worked, because there's lots of comparison out there. You see people doing things which you think, oh gosh, they're so successful, but actually it's knowing for yourself what is the markers that help you know that the success that you're creating is right for you. So that could be thinking about flexibility, autonomy, creativity, impact, relationships, types of work that you want to do, organizations that you want to be part of. So again, just redefining your career success criteria so that the version of success you're creating now fits your life now and the one that's going forward, not the life that you've had so far. So again, don't feel like it's going to be throwing everything away in terms of what you've achieved in your career. It might just be some kind of recalibration so that you can find more meaning, you can redefine your career success criteria, and you can build in more of what energizes and nourishes you. So just to remind you that this success fatigue is not a failure. It's a sign for you. It's like a wake-up call to say you need to do some pausing, some reflecting, some calibration, and rethinking about what's important for you for the next phase in your career. So don't ignore this feeling, utilize it, be thankful for it, and think about what you personally need to do in order to be able to move through this period successfully. And I do a lot of work with my clients around this particular area. So if this feels quite challenging for you to do on your own, then please don't hold back about messaging me and having an initial conversation about how I can help you do this recalibration so that you're ready to make the right next career choice for you, or you can get what you need from your existing career by just shifting things a little bit and doing things differently. So have a great week, whatever you are doing. If you're about to go on holiday, have fantastic holidays. And I will be back in 2 weeks' time with another topic, and then I'm going to take a break in August and be back in September. So I look forward to seeing you at the end of July for my last session of the summer. Have a great week.